Hello everybody, this is Christy Whitman with the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And as you can see, I have a friend, and this is Maria Gracia. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a consultant, she's a professional organizer. And that is why I'm having her on the show, because she is the founder of Get Organized Now. She specializes in helping people get better organized to live the kind of stress-free life that they always dreamed of. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. So let's just get right to it. Why do you feel that getting and staying organized is so important in our lives?
It's kind of funny because a lot of people think that organizing is nothing more than putting your shoes on a shoe rack or keeping your filing cabinet, kind of straightened up. But I see organizing as so much bigger than that, because organizing is about your self-esteem. It's about feeling good about yourself. It's about your time that you have with your family, the time that you have to reach your goals. It's about your career path, your business that you're running, how much money you're making in a given day. Because everything that you do as far as getting organized, the time that you're spending getting organized, the things that you're putting away, the things that you're able to find, your productivity, etc., that all contributes to all of these different areas of your life. So, when people say, oh, I don't have time to put my keys away, it's like, well, it's not really all about that. It's really finding, the time to do the things that you love to do and the people that you want to be with, and reaching the goals that you want to reach in life. So that's why I feel that organization is so vital in somebody's life.
I have to agree with you too, because I feel when I'm disorganized out here, it's reflecting what's going on in here. And sometimes if I just unclutter, if I get organized, like even just on my desk, then all of a sudden it's like I have space in my mind. I feel less cluttered in my head. And I've seen that so many times in my life where I purge stuff, where I just get rid of stuff and I make room. It's like kind of feng shui, you know what I mean? It's like I make room for other things. The old can go away and the new can come in. And yet I'm not wasting time looking for something. I know exactly where it's at. I see more money flow in when this happens, clients, success. So I see it personally in my own life, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show.
And I'm so glad you gave me the opportunity, because I do think that people can do so much better in their lives, and it doesn't take a whole lot. Just some simple principles that you follow every day. You can reach every dream that you've ever wanted out there. You can be a happier person. You can live a more fulfilling life. And organization is such a big part of that.
Absolutely. So if we have clutter everywhere, I know for me it's overwhelming. I can't stand clutter.
Yeah.
What's the best place to begin getting rid of the clutter?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people ask me that question, and the answer I always give them is it doesn't matter where you start. What mostly matters is that you actually start. And I think what happens is that we live such busy lives these days. Our businesses are calling out to us, or we're running out to a job, and our spouse wants us to do something for them, and our kids, want us to help with homework, etc. That, things kind of get overwhelming for us. We have so much to do. But when we're thinking about getting organized, let's say, you feel like, oh, my whole house is organized, or my whole office is disorganized, then it comes down to, well, you're probably looking at too much at one time. You kind of have to zone in, and forget about everything that needs to get done and focus on one thing. Yeah. So, if you can't, figure out an area that you want to organize, I would say try to focus on the one that's bothering you the most right now. If you have to keep clearing off your kitchen table, to get to your business or to pay your bills in the morning or whatever you're trying to do, then focus on the kitchen table. If your entryway is driving you crazy, or your exit door where you're leaving in the morning because you can't find your briefcase, or you can't find your cell phone, then that area needs to be organized. So definitely the area that's driving you the most nuts, you can start there, but focus on that one area, get that one area organized, figure out what works for you and your family or whoever's coming in and out of your office, whatnot, and deal with that, and then move on to the next thing. You can't do everything at once. The clutter didn't get there in a day, and you can't beat yourself up over stuff like that, It's kind of like get it done, feel the success in having done it, and then move on to your next project.
Well, I've experienced many times where like a drawer gets cluttered, or like my pantry at home will get cluttered, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is just driving me crazy. Like there's so much in there. And I'll put out the intention. I intend to declutter that. I intend to clean that. And it's been remarkable, like with law of attraction, when you put out intention, like what happens, like all of a sudden I need to get something out of that drawer, but I can't find it because there's so much in there. So I end up literally just taking everything out of the drawer and then finding that thing. And then of course it has to go back. And then I end up, throwing out the stuff I don't need, and the drawer then gets decluttered. Or that happened to me like with my pantry. I was like looking for something because I'm short. I was kind of crawling up on the pantry, and the shelf gave in, and it was like, oh no. So now I had a big mess, and it was like, well, now it's time to declutter. So I threw out all the stuff, and it was like I had a beautifully organized pantry again. So I find that, even working with law of attraction, like you said, if you find that area that's like, anything that you're in your environment that's giving you that it's lowering your vibration. It's taking away, your higher vibration. It's pulling your focus of the things that you do enjoy. It's putting your focus on what you don't want. And, so it's like it's dragging you down. And like you said, if you could focus on that one area and make time for it, create the time for it, intend for it, you're not going to be as pulled down vibrationally from that.
That's so true. And, the whole negative energy thing, I can so relate to that because, you open the pantry and things fall out, or you can't find your keys in the morning or whatnot, anything like that. And everything that happens to you that day, it kind of, follows that path that the day started with, and it's kind of like you want to have these days where you feel like things are smooth, you don't have the frustration, you don't have the stress, your mind is open and clear and ready to do what you were really meant to do today, which is not searching, for your cell phone or that piece of paper that you can't find in the filing cabinet.
Right. Exactly. So how do we get through our never-ending to-do list? Because it seems like you said, we all live very full lives. And, and that's a great thing. We're all very abundant and have a lot of things in our lives filling it up, but there is a lot of to-do lists. So how do you get through that? And what is your recommendation?
Okay, I will tell you how I get through it, and there are a couple of different ways you can get through it. But one way to get through it is to get yourself like a large corkboard, and you divide the corkboard in half. Okay, so one side of your corkboard is going to be everything that you have to do. And though your to-dos are all on index cards. Okay, so each to-do that you have to do is on an index card. The opposite side of your board is anything that you have gotten done. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick a card from your corkboard on the one side, and you're going to say, okay, this is a hot thing that I need to handle today, and this is really going to make a big difference in my day. You're going to take that card, work on the card. When that card is done, it goes on the done portion. So now not only are you moving your cards, but you actually see everything that you're accomplishing in one day. Now, that's a very simplified system. If you want to bring it up just a little bit more, you can actually divide the board in three. So you'll have 2 lines, 3 sections on your board. The first one is all of the tasks you have to do, and you can prioritize them, A, B, C, or hot, warm, cold, or whatnot. The middle section can be the tasks that you have in progress, and you can pull over 1 or 2, depending on how many you can get done. Some people can do 3, so it kind of depends on your personality. And then the final column is your done column, so you constantly have a good sense of what you still have to do, what tasks are in progress, and what tasks you've completed. And I think having a visual sometimes gives you a really good sense of what's going on in your life. Some days you may say, well, I'm getting nothing done, but then you look at the board and it's filled with things that you've done.
Absolutely.
So it helps you to feel good about yourself. And on the days that maybe you're kind of dragging your feet, not seeing so much going on the board will maybe give you a sense of, okay, I've done enough of, hanging out on Facebook today or whatnot. And maybe I do have to get a couple of things done. So I think it has a couple of purposes to it.
That's great. And it kind of reminds me a little bit what Abraham Hicks, they have a process called the Placemat process. And it's a little bit different when you're talking about in that it's like, okay, these are the things that I must do. Like these are, things that I have to absolutely do. And then these are things that the universe is going to take care of. And I love that because it's like, and you can use it exactly what you're saying. It's like, okay, these are things that I must take care of today. And then these are things the universe can take care of. And it's amazing when you do that. It's like all of a sudden the person that you think that you were going to call calls you. So that task is now, it's like the universe took care of it, So I like the way we can combine that as well. That's a great visual process to get things done. So thank you for that.
Sure.
So I heard that you had something free for my community, which I like to call my family. So can you tell us more about that?
I will. Yeah, I actually have two things.
Oh, good. Wow.
So, good day. Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
Yes, I have a brand new video, and it's called My 5 Action Teas. And these are 5 very specific things you can do today to start getting organized. So I think your listeners, viewers would really love that.
Okay.
And I also have a 21-day organizing boot camp. So each day you get an email from me with a link to one of my videos, and the video will lead you through getting organized, how you can be more organized in 21 days. So I have both of those things for your readers and your listeners, and I'm very excited to share it.
You're awesome. So do you have the link, or you want to share that, or we can just post it under the video?
I should post it because it's a long
Oh, okay, sure.
thing. So
okay.
Yeah, why don't we post it under the video?
Sure.
And they can just click and get it right now if they want it. Yep.
Okay, so right below the video, you'll see a link. Go ahead and you can get both of those wonderful gifts from Maria. Thank you for so generously giving that. So if you're in the place where you're like, I really need to get organized, you really need to click that link. So thank you so much for being on the Quantum Success Show. I really appreciate it. Family, let's continue the conversation. Let me know what you're taking away from this interview with Maria. Maria can also post and add her comments as well. And so if you have any questions, feel free to post them there. And Maria, thank you so much for being on the show and for adding your wisdom and your gifts into the world. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it too.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.